Hi, this is Derek from Boise Cylinder Head Services. Today we had some technical difficulties with our live show, so we're just putting in a little video here to kind of go over what we were going to talk about. Today, I kind of want to talk about the complexity of different cylinder heads and how they've changed. We've had a lot of questions about the different pricing on different rebuilds on cylinder heads and how some are significantly lower cost than others. So I had quite a few examples here to show you. One that we've been working on since this is a 90s head, but they have a similar version in the late 80s. This is a 22R cylinder head out of like a Toyota 4Runner or Toyota pickup. But this is a pretty basic design. It's a 4-cylinder engine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 spark plug, 8 valves. On the back side, you got the cam and the head held by 3 different caps. There's a rocker arm assembly, which we don't really deal with here. Usually the person putting it on the car will have to deal with that. But it's still really basic. 1 rocker arm per valve. It's a rather simple head. I mean, for us to rebuild this one, the cam doesn't take much work. We just take that out, clean everything up. We can pull the valves out, grind them, do guide work if necessary. But anyways, it's really minuscule work. It's a pretty easy head to resurface. And so this one, is a really low cost cylinder head to rebuild. And mostly because it's simplicity. There's not a whole lot to it, not very much complex stuff to worry about. It's a pretty basic cylinder head. Another rather simple one is the LS cylinder heads. They kind of got the same thing. This is out of a V8, so this is only one side. But again, 4 cylinders per side, 8 valves. The rocker arms, they're pretty basic too. Again, we don't really have to deal with those in rebuilding the cylinder heads. But it's pretty straightforward, clean resurface. It's really simplistic. Something a little more complicated is like this. And over the years they're getting more and more complicated. We have this Honda Odyssey head, 3.5 liter. For like a 2013, 2015, something like that. And this thing gets really complicated. The rocker arm assembly has all these little springs that kind of work on the rockers for the variable valve timing to get better gas mileage, better on highway, better in town, stuff like that. And then this one also, this is out of a 6-cylinder V6, and it has 2 valves per cylinder, which is, again, more complicated than the other cylinder heads. This one's not a really difficult resurface, but controlling all this stuff on the rocker arm assembly, even putting it back together, can get pretty complicated, especially if this gets shaken up. So, this is an example of a head that's a little more costly than the ones I previously showed you. Over here we have a 2000 Toyota cylinder head, 2.2 liter out of like a Camry. Where the cams interlink, you got all this busyness going on up here. And underneath there's little lifter cups that control the valve clearance. It's a mechanical adjustment, not a hydraulic one. And so that has to be set whenever you rebuild a cylinder head. Takes a good hour or two to do one of these heads as far as just the valve adjustment goes. But again, we have 2 valves per cylinder. This is only a 4-cylinder. So it's not as expensive as doing a V6 or something, but it's definitely more complicated than the 22R Toyota cylinder head from the early 90s. And then over here we have a 6-liter diesel cylinder head, and everything diesel is more expensive. These castings are really heavy. The parts are more expensive. The valves have to be a higher grade material. Although it looks basic like the other ones, just the risk with rebuilding these, if anything goes wrong, everything's more expensive. The valves are more expensive. Springs, keepers, seals are all more expensive. So, diesel just in general costs more to work on. Let's see, what else do we got here? So the FB, the new Subaru heads that they have, these are really busy heads. Half of this comes apart here and just lifts up. We have rocker arms in there, little lash caps that go on top of the valves. Again, these are a 4 valve per cylinder heads. But these things are a lot more complicated than those basic heads. And so they're a lot more expensive to deal with, to clean up, to scrape all the gaskets and all that stuff. So that's just a little bit of explaining on, the cost difference between cylinder heads, one to the other. That's all we got for this video today. Thank you for watching, and like and subscribe and hit that bell notification button. And remember, it's all in your head.